Biggest boss Ricky Rose just got word. Meech concert not happening tonight, but 305 is going down at the office. Meet us there. Bam! February 13th, the Big Meech big concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Might be wild when I stood next to Meech. Your knees buckle. Your knees buckle. Put your back against.
Large Meech is out there criticizing Rick Ross for abandoning him after making lofty promises. Let's face it, Meech is not just irritated, he is furious. When Meech and Ross collaborated, it wasn't just about the music Rick. Ross walked in bragging about his ambitious ideas and promising Meech a new show, so he had a clear agenda. It all seemed amazing at the time, with a larger budget and even a lavish concert to commemorate his return. But Ross appears to have disappeared since then. Ross is in a panic after failing to fulfill any of his obligations. And to be honest, he has every reason to be concerned, because if there's one thing we know about Big Meech, it is that he does not. Betrayal should be taken lightly to feed the flames. Since Meech teamed up with Rick Ross, 50 Cent has been unrelenting in his criticism. As soon as Big Meech joined with Ross for the Welcome Home performance, 50 hurried to Instagram and began teasing. Originally, Ross had big plans for Meech after he was released from prison, and he was pushing this enormously. The Welcome Home concert was supposed to be a big event, and Big Meech was even promised a portion of the ticket sales, which would have been a nice payday. The catch is that the concert never happened. Everything was canceled at the last minute, and the reason for this is that federal agents allegedly swooped in with letters to cancel everything. Rumors started to spread. Let's face it, who else could have that kind of influence? Many people are speculating that 50 Cent was behind the scenes, and if this is accurate, it implies that he did it to make amends with Rick Ross. Although 50 hasn't acknowledged his involvement, he had a lot to say when boozing. In a Vlad TV interview, Vidal talked about the issue. 50 then took to Instagram to make fun of the whole thing, writing, "Hey, I'm just asking for a friend." Does this mean the show's not going to go on? He was being completely disrespectful.
2-3 hours, like, I'm at the Louis store. I'm like, what the I could have saved this bitch $5,000.
Furthermore, 50 anticipated that this scenario would be resolved before it even happened and promptly disassociated himself from any connection, as though he wasn't chuckling about it all. However, the hardest part came when everything fell apart and Big Meech was. Having trouble, Rick Ross did nothing to assist. Instead, he waited in the background to use Meech as a means of settling scores with 50 points. To further heighten the suspense, 50 Cent recently revealed some purported text messages and even a photo of Tamian's, who has been accused of being a federal informant. Communicated in these letters between him and Tammy, she responded to 50's direct question about whether Meech knew she was working with the police while he was in jail by going into greater detail about the matter. 50 commented, "Tammy Cowan? The truth? And nothing but the truth coming soon. It's work." He boldly said, "Listen to the words Big Screech you keep forgetting when you told Tammy Cowans to get your time cut, sucker," pointing out that he had already begun accusing Meech of snitching just a week prior. Additionally, he ensured that all of his brands were tagged. Classic 50 Cent, he's not the only one who's blue. Cuffy and Da Vinci have also come forward to say that Big Meech was involved in their arrest. They say he employed Tammy Cowan as an informant. Therefore, the whole Big Screech story isn't just a rumor that 50 made up to get publicity. There may be a lot more to the story than Meech is willing to admit, according to industry insiders who have been talking about it for a while.
We're saying, how did Meech have information on you and give it to Tammy so you could get caught up in it? How did that happen? So that means you got to go back to the movies. Right, that's the all Meech and Tammy was trying to get Suarez.
Additionally, 50 Cent threw Lil Meech into the conflict. Before all of this turmoil, 50 Cent had been actively assisting Lil Meech by making large investments, such as paying for his acting classes, managing his business affairs, getting him ready for his role in the BNF series. You remember when there were allegations that Lil Meech was struggling with substance abuse. The fact that 50 decided to pay for and send him to rehab shows how strong their relationship is.
I'm watching movies. I'm like, man, acting must just be realized off of paper, like something like this. And when I get there, like, hey, don't look at the paper. Imagine your mom and dad in the casket, right?
However, Big Meech abruptly switched sides, cutting off all connections with Rick Ross 50 as soon as he became close to him. He made it known that he was discontinuing the BMF series, which is essentially where Lil Meech gets his revenue. And since the Welcome Home event, 50 has been extremely petty with all the promos, blurring and changing Lil Meech's visage anytime he shares anything about BMF, almost as if he's trying to erase him. Now, Meech and his son are both having financial difficulties. Although Rick Ross didn't remain silent either, he continued to make statements, this time stating that he intends to produce his own BMF series. Not just any series, but one with a bigger budget than 50 cents.
Yeah. So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
Big Meech's last chance was supposed to be that. If Ross had followed through, Meech could have made a sizable profit, but like everything else Ross promised, the show never came to pass. It was all talk. What's even more annoying is that 50C owns the rights to the Black Mafia family story for TV and movies, so Ross was unable to legally pursue this project without having to include him, so all of that boasting was in vain. Meanwhile, Meech is still without money, and 50 keeps making fun of him online. To make matters worse, Rick Ross hasn't done anything to support Big Meech. He was very outspoken about using Meech's name to get 50. But now that things are getting tight, he has stopped talking, and let's face it, this is the exact reason 50 Cent has been making fun of Rick Ross for years at this point. It's clear that Ross joined the BMF trend merely to get even with 50. It was alleged that Ross only brings him up to maintain his own prominence whenever he wants to trend.
What happened? Outside of mentioning me. When things get bad, you mention me.
In an Instagram story clip, Rick Ross boasted about being the only one to ever actually get to 50 Cent, which abruptly rekindled their animosity by bringing up his rival's late mother.
No, that they say I was the only person that banged 50 Cent up. I didn't know that. I'm gonna be honest. Tony Yayo told 50 Cent himself, y'all.
He was also active in Tony Yaw claims to have cautioned 50 about his mistakes in the past. Ross made fun of Uncle Murder and Yaw for seeming elderly and implied that they required skincare procedures. Naturally, Tony Yaw responded by saying that because of their close connection and loyalty, he is used to being drawn into arguments involving people in his 50s.
Tony Yayo said, I told him I wouldn't do that if I was, because Tony Yayo ain't got no money. Come on, man, look at Tony Yayo on TV. Come in his knee.
We must acknowledge that Yayo has consistently shown genuine loyalty to 50, which Ross appears to dislike. However, Ross didn't stop there. After going too far, he changed strategies and started making fun of 50 Cent's business ventures. This time, he attacked the Unit Studios project in Louisiana, claiming that 50 couldn't complete it because he is broke, and the banks won't lend him money anymore.
Struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong?
50 Cent made fun of Rick Ross for making a cameo on the Millennium Tour, demonstrating that he was not going to let Ross get away with it. Trey Songz is co-headlining with Wild and Amaranth. Alongside Ray J, Boozy Badass Flies, and the Yin Yang Twins are also involved, and Ross was a special guest. The Pleasure Peak and Bobby V. While most people see this lineup as a lighthearted throwback to the 2000s, 50 Cent sees it as something far more important in his opinion, demonstrating that Rick Ross isn't the heavyweight on those events. Let's be honest, it's ridiculous for a self-described rap mogul to be listed below Big Meech. He's the one who actually suffered during the active BMF era, and he was ruthless. If you owed him anything, he would come get it now. Wow, this whole conflict started because Rick Ross kept bringing up 50 Cent. Rumor has it that Rick Ross is feeling the heat in private. Ross is allegedly aware that Big Meech and real BMF associates could confront him at any time, either directly or through others, and that someone would demand explanations. If that happens, let's just say Ross might find himself in a difficult situation.
Take the bad along with the good and show his crew up know how to be men. then that's what you get. Everybody shining like new money. There ain't no other crew like this in the world, and there never will be another.
Thus, a significant concern remains after everything that has transpired. What will happen next? Is Rick Ross actually worried that Big Meech would pursue him? Did he take on more? More he can handle by attempting to weigh all sides. Do you think 50 Cent will ever let this problem go away? Or is this just the beginning for him? I'd like to know what you think about this, so please leave your comments below. Remarks below. Additionally, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and enable notifications in order to be informed about the most recent changes in this